This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening, everyone. The Prime Minister is tonight on the verge of doing something no government has done in 98 years, and that's win a federal by-election in a seat held by the opposition. A poll out today has the Liberal National Party ahead of Labor by 51 to 49% in the Brisbane seat of Longman. It leaves Bill Shorten in an enormous fight to retain the seat this Saturday and his leadership, today announcing Labor will keep the energy bonus for pensioners.
Winning over the room, Labor's Longman campaign launch isn't short on support or rhythm, with the party on red alert for a possible by-election defeat.
We are the underdogs. The bookmakers have the other mob as the favourites.
Bill Shorten hoping to boost Labor's chances by pledging to keep the energy supplement brought in 2014 to compensate for the carbon tax, which the coalition wants to scrap.
We can afford to make these promises because we're not giving $17 billion to the big banks.
To stop 1.5 million pensioners over the next decade losing $360 a year for singles, more than $500 for couples.
It shows Bill Shorten's desperation, and you know what it does? It shows he's given up on bringing down energy prices.
The Prime Minister argues the energy bonus isn't needed now power bills are falling.
Our focus is on bringing energy prices down, and we're starting to succeed.
New polling shows the coalition is leading Labor in Longman by 2 points. While the LNP's primary vote has risen, Labor's has slumped.
By-elections, on all the evidence, appear to be very close.
Despite the LNP's Longman candidate Trevor Ruthenberg claiming he was awarded the wrong defence medal, more than 40% of voters believe it was an honest mistake. If the coalition does snatch Longman from Labor, Bill Shorten's leadership will come under further pressure. But senior Labor figures are already rallying around him.
Let's make it very clear. Bill Shorten will be leading us into the next federal election.
As thousands of children prepare to go back to school tomorrow, Labor has once again called on the government to release critical information about meningococcal disease. Following an outbreak of the disease in Hobart this month, it's now been determined which strain of the disease was contracted in 2 of 3 reported cases. But this information hasn't been made public.
Parents aren't being given information as to whether or not they should be now taking their children for a combined vaccine or for the B strain vaccine, which is the best one to have, should they be having it, and how are they going to afford it.
Young Tasmanians are eligible for a vaccination against meningococcal strains A, C, W and Y, but a separate vaccine for the B strain costs hundreds of dollars.
We as a government will ensure that privacy is respected. Any information that can be released, that should be released in the public interest, we will do so and are doing so.
Meningococcal symptoms include severe headaches, confusion and a rash. Anyone who believes they have the disease is urged to seek emergency treatment. A deliberately lit house fire at Bridgewater has caused more than $180,000 damage. The blaze broke out at this Newbury Place property on Friday night, resulting in extensive damage to the inside of the home. Fire crews have now determined it was an arson attack and have started their investigations. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Tasmania Police are tonight searching for a missing 59-year-old man, Charles Scott. He's believed to be driving a green Toyota Hilux with Victorian registration PLL207 and was last seen camping at Arthur River in the state's northwest. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Tasmanian motorists are being reminded to slow down and drive to the conditions as students across the state head back to school this week. Reduced speed limits of 40 kilometres per hour will be in place around school zones and bus stops. Police say officers will be out in force, targeting traffic-related offences including speeding and inattention. For the past 20 years, an important part of Australia's naval history has sat in the Margate Marina. The HMAS Curlew was once a warship serving across the world, and now its new owner is preparing to transform the iconic vessel.
an old warship being prepared for its next great adventure. The historic HMAS Curlew has called Margate its home for 2 decades, but it was once an important addition to the Royal Australian Navy.
She's one of a kind. She's, I believe there's only 2 of these left in the world now in reasonably original configuration.
She was built in Scotland in 1953. Then in 1962 it was one of 6 ton-class ships arriving in Australia to serve. The ship was used to clear mines in Papua New Guinea, locate fallen planes in Malaysia and help clean up after Cyclone Tracy.
She was one of the longest serving RAN ships. She's also the last timber RAN ship.
The ship was retired from naval life in 1990 after 28 years of service, going on to be used as a houseboat docked in Tasmania's south. With a new owner purchasing the HMAS Curlew in April, this week it will depart for a new life in Brisbane. The ultimate goal once it arrives, to transform the ship into accommodation for backpackers.
Find out a nice place to park her, and there she'll become a bit of a centrepiece, I think.
It will take a crew of around 20 people to get the ship from here in Margate up to Brisbane. The owner is expecting the journey to take a couple of weeks, including a few stops along the way.
Well, I think it's pretty cool because I've always wanted to come here because we just put our boat in here and I always see this boat and wonder what it would be like on that boat.
Michelle Wisby, Southern Cross News.
Hundreds of wine lovers and their beloved pets have gathered at Campania today for the Wines and Woofs fundraiser. All money raised at the event will go towards protecting one of Tasmania's most loved but most vulnerable species.
A day out for dog and wine lovers alike. The Wine and Woofs fundraiser today attracting large crowds and their 4-legged friends to Campania's Wobbly Boot Vineyard.
When we started this, which was 3 years ago, we wanted to combine our love of wine and animals, and at the same time to do it in a way that was actually going to make a difference to the animals across Tasmania.
Every 3 months, the pet-friendly event raises money for a different charity. This month, 100% of the funds will go back to the Devils in Danger Foundation. The amount expected to be around $3,000.
We raise funds for any Tasmanian devil related projects. So in general, we construct Tasmanian devil breeding enclosures, breed healthy devils in captivity. We also help fund vital research in the wild.
The day proving to be a hit with visitors, great and small.
Willow's having a great time. We're really enjoying it. Wine and Woofs, how could it get any better?
It's beautiful, the weather's perfect, the dogs are all playing really well together. Yeah, it's great.
The next Wine and Woofs event will be held this spring. Michelle Wisby, Southern Cross News.
They're one of the most dreaded exercises at the gym, but a Tasmanian man has today turned burpees into a cancer research fundraiser and also landed himself a coveted spot in the Guinness World Records. Charlie Gard took on the challenge after his father-in-law was diagnosed with prostate cancer, a disease that kills around 3,000 Australian men each year.
In Australia, prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men. So Charlie Gard decided to take action.
My father-in-law was diagnosed with prostate cancer and look, it's just a huge show of support for him and the family, and look, everyone's been really good at getting around this event and donating.
With father-in-law Craig watching on, Charlie went to work trying to smash the Guinness World Record for most burpees in 1 hour, raising valuable funds for prostate cancer research along the way. Pushing through the pain, he needed to complete in excess of 781. That's more than 13 each gruelling minute. And his wife Liv couldn't be prouder.
It's been very hard on all of us. We're a very close family and Charlie's very close with my dad. So it's a wonderful thing that he's doing, and yeah, it's very uplifting. He's doing, putting great awareness out there. And
as the clock ticked down, the record books were being rewritten. 851 burpees in 1 hour, smashing the old world mark.
Yeah, pretty stoked, pretty relieved, but yeah, it went out a bit harder than I was supposed to. That was my plan, but I noticed that and I knew it was going to hurt.
I'm extremely proud. Yeah, he's a wonderful man.
With more than $6,000 already raised, donations can still be made by searching for Charlie Gard on Facebook or via the Everyday Hero webpage. Andrew McCarthy, Southern Cross News.
An injury time strike from Ryan Cook has kept South Hobart's title hopes alive in the NPL this afternoon. After a scoreless first half, a penalty from the spot gave Hobart Zebras the lead. Soon after, Zebras were down to 10 men after a red card, South Hobart swooping to produce a leveller courtesy of Kobe Kemp. The 2-1 result finally sealed in the dying moments of the game, the goal sparking plenty of controversy as Hobart players appealed unsuccessfully for offside. Well, when all hope seemed to be lost, a stroke of luck has given the Northwest Thunder a ticket to the playoffs. Despite a 41-point drubbing to Hobart on Friday night, the Thunder has snuck into the final 8 thanks to the Siebel's unique countback system, which lifted the side above Dandenong and Mount Gambier. It means the Thunder will play Geelong in Geelong next weekend. But that same countback system has worked against the Hobart Chargers, who have dropped from 2nd to 3rd due to their poor record against Kilsyth and Nunawading. The Chargers must now travel to Kilsyth on Saturday night for the first week of the playoffs. King Island runner Stuart McSwain has finished down the order at the latest Diamond League meet. The 23-year-old finished 12th in the 5,000 metres in London. He crossed the line 6 seconds behind American winner Paul Chelimo, but McSwain has still qualified for the final in Brussels next month. Wet and wild weather in Austria saw the umbrellas come out at the Formula Renault Euro Cup. Hobart driver Alex Peroni moved up to 12th position before the race was called off due to thunder and lightning. Drivers will receive only half of their points because less than 3/4 of the race was completed. Peroni is back in action for race 2 tonight. And Daniel Watkins performed strongly in the semi-final of the Canoe Slalom Under-23 Championship. He set the 3rd best qualifying time before coming 6th in the final. 3 gate penalties added 6 seconds to the Tasmanian's time. A clean run would have put Watkins in line for silver. Meanwhile, Kate Eckhart incurred 4 gate penalties in the final of the kayak to finish 7th.
Good evening. Showers about the north and west of the state today, but fine and mostly clear elsewhere. Hobart 13, Launceston 12, Burnie 11 and Devonport a high of just 10 degrees. The state's high was 15 today at both Smithton and Flinders Island, 14 degrees for St Helens, Friendly Beaches and Grove, Strawn and Flinders Island both 13, 12 at Maria Island, Lowhead 11, Ooze 10 and Lyawini reaching a high of just 8 today. Here we can see low to middle level cloud about the north and west of the state streaming into the south during the day. Middle to high level cloud is seen through southern Western Australia and the Bight. Low level cloud is over parts of Victoria and New South Wales, with the remainder of the country mostly cloud free. Tomorrow, a high pressure system is in the Tasman Sea, extending a ridge over the east of the mainland. A decaying cold front lies in the Bight, extending into South Australia, with another cold front extending into eastern Western Australia. Winds 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 35 knots in the west during the afternoon and to 30 knots elsewhere in the evening. Seas around 2 metres, rising to 4 metres in the west and 3 metres elsewhere in the evening. A gale warning is current for western coastal waters for north to northwesterly winds, a strong wind warning for northern and eastern coastal waters, and a small craft wind alert is current for the Central Plateau Lakes. A flood watch is current for northwest, north and northeast catchments. Tomorrow, showers for Hobart, Dover and Ooze, all 12 degrees. Launceston and Devonport both 12 with rain, Scottsdale rain increasing 11. 12 a popular temperature tomorrow, with Burnie, Strawn and Stanley also reaching maximums of 12, rain and windy conditions expected in the west there. The east coast breaking the trend with 13 for both St Helens and Swansea, and Ross showers 11 degrees. Looking ahead now to Tuesday, early rain in the north and west, snow to around 900 metres, showers in the west, far south and Bass Strait Islands on Wednesday, snow to 900 metres, and Thursday showers in the west and far south. To the mainland, Perth, Adelaide and Melbourne all expecting showers, sunny conditions for most other centres.